A very good evening, everyone. So thank you for joining with us on the final day of Path to Success organized by AIESEC in University of Moratuwa. So today we have with us some special guests from our three event partners of Connect CS 1.0, which are Nestle, Orel Corporation, and Icon Business School. Now, when it comes to Nestle, Nestle has a history that dates back to 1866 in Switzerland. Since then, Nestle has grown to become a leading food, beverage, nutrition, health, and wellness company in the world. Nestle arrived in Sri Lanka in 1906. Since then, for 115 years, they have been committed to providing nutritious, tasty, and safe products to Sri Lankans through many leading brands. Not only in nourishing Sri Lankans, Nestle has been giving back to society by working with Sri Lankan suppliers, partners, and farmers, and have been constantly striving to support rural development, promote and respect human rights, and guarantee decent employment and diversity in their workplace. And today, we have Mr. Bharatha Rathnayake from Nestle joining us to enlighten us on how to develop growth mindset. So to give a little introduction about Mr. Bharatha Rathnayake, so he has started his career as an HR intern in Nestle and currently works as the manager of performance management and employer branding in Nestle. He holds a bachelor degree specializing in leadership and management from Northumbria University and holds an MBA from the University of West London. So, Mr. Rathnayake, the platform is yours.
All right, Nissan, thank you very much for the great introduction. And I think it's a little bit over for me also. Just a question before I start, I'll start my session with a question. Do you know what's our first product is, Nestle's first product? Any guesses? Nissan or anyone?
I actually have no idea.
All right. Anyone knows what's Nestle's first product is? Out of curiosity. Vasanta, yes, go ahead.
Milo?
Nescafe?
No. One more guess. All right, so I'll tell you the answer. It's Orel Active. So that's our first product, Orel Active. So I hope you will have a little more energy. So we'll do this session as a conversation mode. I hope that you will have enough energy to interact with me, and then see, you guys are many years younger than me. So I expect you to have that. Am I audible?
Yeah, Mr. Bharatha, you were on mute, I guess.
All right. So as youngsters, I do expect you to have that energy because I'm a couple of years elder than you. So as youngsters, I would expect you to have that energy with you. And if you don't have energy, again, I have a solution. You just have to do one thing. You just have to drink a cup of Nestle malt. It will give you Bale Jave Shakti. All right. Just promoting my company, just kidding. All right. So thank you very much for having me here. Mahisha, Natasha, and Nishanya, everyone, all the members in AIESEC, thank you very much for having me here. So as Nishanya said, I started my career as an intern at Nestle. When I was 21 or 22, very young age. And I always had the passion to join back Nestle. I started as a permanent employee sometime later. So I got that opportunity after a few years. And during my stint at MAs and brandings, I learned a lot, and I came back to the place I started, and so currently working as a manager for HR. All right. So talking about AIESEC, I should appreciate the amount of work you guys carry out and the partnership you have with Nestle's. I mean, thank you very much for your age, and when you do these sort of things, I mean, you are talking about a very bright future and a very good careers. And I think you guys do a lot to the society as well as for your own colleagues and then your own friends, I would say, because we have a very I don't call it a bad situation. I don't want to be negative. I would say a tough situation which we need to go through because, as you know, we produce more than 35 to 40,000 graduates every year, right? So if you are to get a job during the first year after your graduation, you divide 40,000 in 40,000 from 365, then you will get how many jobs we need to produce a day to get to your job. All right. So that's where we are. Just to give you that calculation, I'll give you that calculation: 40,000 divided by, I'm not good at maths, that's why I'm using the calc. So it's 109 jobs a day. If you want to find a job after the graduation, first year after your graduation, Sri Lanka needs to produce 109 jobs a day. So you go to top jobs, you go to observer jobs, you go to LinkedIn and see whether you have 109 new jobs every day. Do you have it? I don't think we will have that yes as an answer. So that's where we are. So we have a lot to do, but let's do it together. So that's why I appreciate the amount of effort AIESEC put in terms of developing you as good corporate individuals, having that skill set required by the corporates. All right. So as you know, since last year, we have a very different sort of a situation to live in, and for some people it's been very tough. I mean, for all of us, it's been very tough. But nevertheless, we have to go through it. We can't deny the fact that it's a tough situation. It is tough, but we have overcome these sort of situations in past as well. So it's normal for anyone in this world. It's a tough situation, but it won't last forever. So I thought of it would be good to share with you some thoughts on how to keep a growth mindset during these tough times. You know, people go through a lot of thoughts and different difficult times during this period. So let me share you my deck, right? Let me know when you can see it. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Bharatha, you can see it.
All right. So I think they call you AIESECers, right? AIESECers or AIESECers. So very welcome again on behalf of the team. Very welcome. So what we are going to talk about, the growth mindset, and you know the story of this elephant. Anyone? If any one of you know the story of this elephant, please unmute yourself and tell me. You know the story of the elephant? Anyone? Readers would know.
Yes. When elephants are small, they try to come off their what do you call the rope. They will keep on trying, but when they become big, they won't try anymore because they know that coming out of the rope won't work.
All right, thank you very much. Your answer is correct, but I'll add a little bit to that. So when this elephant is a baby elephant, what they do is they tie them into this pole, or rather this stick. So when they try to get rid of this stick, rather the pole or whatever you call it, when they are small, they don't have enough energy, enough power to remove this, or rather to get rid of this. And after a few years, they become huge animals, probably the largest animal in the world, right? And they have enormous power to carry a lot of things by themselves. But for some reason, they still think they can't get rid of this small stick, right? What's the problem there? They have enormous energy. They can break this stick into pieces, but they don't even try because they tried when they were small. They couldn't do it. They couldn't break that stick rather. So now they think they are still unable to do so, right? But they can break it into pieces. But they can break it into pieces, trust me. If they're carrying that many weight, why can't they just get rid of this? They could easily do that. What happens is they have a mental barrier. Mentally, they think they don't have enough power to get rid of this. So what would happen if we thought the same way? By birth, we are positive thinkers. That's why every time you fell when you were an infant, or rather a baby, that's why you kept on getting up. What if you stopped walking because you fall? What will happen? What will happen? Would you walk today? Or would you doubt when you are walking today, unless you have a do you think? You have second thoughts of walking? I don't think any one of you do have. That's the confidence. So we had that positive mindset when we were small. That's why we were so observant. That's why when you meet a child, what's that? What's this? What's that? Why does it happen? They are curious to know. They are very positive about everything. Look at the energy they have. So when father leaves office in the morning, to the office in the morning, they were dancing, they were playing. Even when he comes back, they are still playing. From where do they get this energy? Because they have a very positive mindset, open mindset, free mindset. Okay? So telling you that story, we'll move forward. So you have two ways to live your life. One is to have a fixed mindset, which will restrict you. This is an amazing journey. This life will have ups and downs. This is an amazing journey. So either you can be get into this fixed mindset and be the same person who you are, or you can grow as a tree, right? You can grow as a tree. So option is yours. All right. So when you don't have an open mindset, it's like a car without fuel, right? So car without fuel, what do we need? We would need a carrier to take us somewhere. But this life, as I said, very interesting, amazing. So we need our own fuel to take us to the places we want. That's what growth mindset will give you. All right. Moving on. So how can we have this open mindset, growth mindset? That's also a problem. Anyone can tell me how can we have an open mindset? I would like to engage with you. Anyone? How can we have an open mindset? You know, guys, don't be afraid to speak up, because if you don't trust your opinion, if you don't trust your idea, don't expect others to try it when you come to an interview. So start from now, have that passion, have that confidence in you to speak up, right?
By accepting diversity and inclusion of everyone.
Yeah, that's a very good example. That's a very good example. Yeah, when you accept the diverse culture, diverse people, yes, you have to have an open mind. You have to have a growth mindset. Yeah. What else? Can someone else tell me? Thank you, Ahmed, for your answer. There's no right or wrong answers. Come on, guys. Over to you. One more.
Always looking forward to learn new things.
Learning mindset. Thank you very much. This is Binura, right?
Yeah.
So, Binura, we call it learning agility. As you correctly said, people grow when they have a learning agility, learning mindset. Very true. So let's move on. Okay, I want you to, okay, now I have put it on the screen. Now I'm no point asking the question. So those days, our fathers, our mothers, our parents usually, they used to tell, be strong, be intelligent. But in current setup, it's not the most intelligent or the toughest would survive. It's not the case anymore. No point you being tough, no point you being very intelligent if you don't adapt. So number one is you need to be able to adapt quickly. Otherwise you will become a dinosaur. So look at all the countries. Now I'm going to take this COVID as an example. What happened to America? They were the strongest, right? They were the strongest. But what happened to them during the pandemic? Did they get through first or some other country did? So as you know, China was able to adapt faster, right? So did the strongest survive at that time? No. So most intelligent, I would say, in that case, UK, they have the best medical services system in the world. UK, did they survive? They had huge number of cases on day-to-day basis, right? But it's not them who won the game first. It's China who did it. Why? They were adaptable. Their people are so fast. They are so quick. That's why they get jobs. Easy to adapt. As Sri Lankans, what I say is mostly we are so talented. I have seen exceptional characters in Sri Lanka. We are so talented as a nation. But the only thing is we have a mental barrier. We don't want to change. Right? So it's very hard for us to survive in this environment because we are not accepting the fact, right? So if you go out today, whether you like it or not, you have to wear a mask. But I don't think even 10% of our country is wearing a mask properly. So obviously COVID cases will ramp up. So no point, blaming the government or blaming someone else for all this. We have our own responsibility. This applies to you as well, right? You can be super intelligent. If not, you can't go to Moratuwa University. I never made it because I'm not intelligent like you. I accept it, right? So, and you have to have that toughness. You have to be strong to have that, focus level to get into a university like Moratuwa or any government university in Sri Lanka. That's the cream of our education. But that's not enough now. Times have changed, guys. So if you go out and find a graduate, if you want to find a graduate, you will find enough and more, right? So you need to be able to adapt. Now, if I may ask, how many courses in Coursera or LinkedIn or wherever, how many courses did you complete during your lockdown period? If you have not done any, my child, you are in a serious trouble because this is the best opportunity in your life to learn, right? You can focus a lot of things. You can focus on learning because you have enough and more time because you're at home mostly. And if you still don't want to give it a try, it's your choice. All right. We'll move forward. So the next thing is everyone wants everything to be easy. It's not the case. So the best example is when I was working for one of the apparel companies, I had to wake up at 4 o'clock and get into the train and go to work. So I woke up at 4. At 5 o'clock, I went to the train and I got down from wherever I had to get down. I think it's from Alau I got down. And again, in the evening, I had to come. By the time I come home, it's 7 o'clock. And it wasn't easy. I had to do it for a few months and it wasn't easy. It was tough. So, I mean, now when I look at that experience, I always remember how much effort I have put, right? So I'm happy. It gave me a different experience in life. I got to know that there are enough and more people coming from Kandy to Colombo for work on day-to-day basis. People come from Mathura to Colombo on day-to-day basis. That's life. You don't get everything easily, right? So if you go through a tough period, always have that positive mindset in your head, because next thing what you're going to get is a positive news, right? It looks like this. It's not a straight arrow, straight as an arrow. Moving on. So the best way, my recommendation, the best way you could ever face a problem is to change your glasses. Now let's say I have a problem. Let's say I'm going to lose my job. All right. So I'm under enormous pressure. I'm under stress. No one can say you can't be stressed. You will be stressed. Think of your exam. You will be stressed, right? But when you change your glasses, then you have a different mindset. Now you think like this. Now, let's say you have the exams in another 1 month's time, and you know it's a lot of pressure, and you get frustrated. You think, okay, next year at this time, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Or else month after, I'll be done with this. I'll be playing with my friends. I'll be going on a trip. I'll be going on a hike. So change your glasses. Now, let's say you find a very tough boss when you go to office. Go to a new job, you find a very tough boss. What will happen? You get frustrated. It's normal. But when you change your glass, what will happen? You will think, if I work with this person, I can manage anyone. And as a start, just imagine getting a boss like that. You are sorted for life. You can work with anyone. All right. And always, I mean, this is in the human behavior. I don't have to tell you, we will always look in for this, but we don't realize it. So I put this point just to realize, always think what's in it for me. Knowingly or without knowing, you will learn something new every day by whatever the thing you are doing, right? So always think, okay, I go through this situation. Why it happens to me all the time? That's what you think, right? That's what you think. But at the same time, spend a little time to think, what's in it for me? What did I learn? Okay, now let's say you have been given to manage a project in AIESEC. It's so much work. You have to spend late nights and all that. Just think of that situation. Then you are frustrated. So following day, you want to go to your president and tell, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to get out of the organizing committee. So that's one option, right? That option also there. So you can either become a hero, or you can be just another guy in the club, right? So you always think the recognition you will get, right? The experience you will get, the network you will build. So these are the positive things you could always focus on. Change your glasses in anything. Even now, I do this every day. I take my phone and I type in how many vaccines we have given in Sri Lanka. I keep a track of it every day because I have hope. Vaccine will be out. I have hope because I know it's not going to be there forever, right? So this situation, yes, it's frustrating, but you can learn something new. I did a program affiliated to Yale University on emotional intelligence. I got certified last month. So if I can do that, doing a job, full-time job, why can't you? You can learn to play the guitar, right? Whatever you like. It releases your stress and it will add value to you as a person. Okay? Any questions up to now? Does anyone want to ask anything? Any questions? Okay, I will take the silence as no, and I will go forward. So as I said, the next thing is, as humans, we are always overestimating ourselves, right? So we have to understand the reality in order to create a growth mindset. So this is a good example. So this orange color, wait, I'll take my, what do you call, pointer. So in this sort of oval shape thing, it tells you about the things you know. These are the things you know, and you know that you know it. Now let's say you know how to cook, right? You know how to cook, and you know that you can cook. So this is what that means. And this is the other part, things you know. You know this as a person, but you don't know that you know it, right? Okay, let's say driving a car. Maybe I know that. I know how to drive a car, but I don't know I could drive a car, right? But it's within me. People are given born talents like that, right? That's why some people, when they take the cricket bat or guitar, they just start on playing. It's within them, right? And the third shape is things you think you know. You think you know everything, but actually you don't know, right? You think you know it. I think I know about Power BI, right? But I don't know all of it. But I think I know, right? And the bigger shape is the things you don't know. When you have this mindset, right, it's very easy to grow in life because you know very little, right? Some things you know, but you don't even know that you know them. This is why self-reflection is important, right? So this is a situation, so we have to have a model to approach it. So this is what I suggest. I got this from a book called Think Again from Adam Grant. A fantastic book. If you find time, you can read it. So first you have to have the humility. So what is humility? Nihatamanikam. Because if you are big-headed, if you always think that you know everything, you are not going to learn anything. First of all, you have to have the humility. That humility itself creates doubt. Am I doing it in the right way? Is there an easy way to do it? Is there a better way to do it? That's the doubt you have. Now you have the humility, you have the doubt, and now you're curious. There has to be an easy way to do this. This is not the only way. Now this is killing you, right? You want to know. You know there is a way, but you don't know. You're curious. That's where you discover a new thing. So I will take a very simple example. What we used to do is we used to use Excel to present our training stats. So on monthly basis, I do this, and it's very hectic to tally all the stats. But then it created a doubt in myself, right? That there has to be a better way to do it. Then I was very curious. Then only I got to know, okay, there is a tool called Power BI. And I did it. Now I have my own dashboard. It's a matter of updating it, right? So this is a simple example, right? Similarly, you will also find a lot of improvement opportunities in your day-to-day life. Okay, moving forward. I'm not going to take much time. I've been given only 30 minutes. And the next thing is continuous improvement mindset. So Dunning and Kruger effect. Anyone here has heard of this before? Anyone knows this one? This model? Do you know what is this? No? Yes, no? Nisanya, do you know this Dunning and Kruger effect?
No, Mr. Bharatha.
Mudita?
No.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what it is. This is an amazing finding by these two other scientists, right? Dunning and Kruger. So what they say, now in this axis, it talks about your confidence level, and in this axis, it talks about your competence, right? Now let's say you are learning to play the guitar, Okay, let's take that as an example. On the first day itself, you will be somewhere here. On the second day, you will be here. On the third day, you will go here. Now you can play a chord. It sounds nice now, right? It sounds nice. And you think, look at your confidence level. What happens? You think you know everything. But competence, where it is? It's somewhere here. So some people stop from here, especially in tools like Power BI, Microsoft Flow. So people stop somewhere here because once they do a very simple dashboard, they think that's it. They're so confident that they can do these things, but actually they are not competent. That's a biasness creates in their mind, right? But if you keep going, it will be frustrating. Okay, I learned that, but still there are a lot to learn. What did I know? What did I even know? Here, look at here. Look at this curve. Look at your confidence level, but your competence. But over the time, it drastically improves, and then your confidence level comes here, right? And look at your competence. You are an expert. You have become an expert, but without going through this journey, this tough period, you can't come here, right? Take Bill Gates, take Tim Cook, take Steve Jobs, Obama, whoever it is, they have come through this journey. Zuckerberg, anyone, even Dhammika Pereira. Okay, anyone. So don't get yourself into this situation. Don't get overconfidence. By doing a one project in AIESEC, don't think you can organize everything. Definitely that will add value, but there is a lot to learn. When you do a very large scale project, then you realize what I ever done. What have I even done? Right? That's when you start learning. Look at here, the curve. All right. Cool. I hope that is clear. So what you can do is always plan your work. You do it. You check whether it's right, whether you have done it in the right way. If not, adjust it. That's what you say by ACT. Plan, do, check and adjust. All right. So this is a continuous improvement journey, right? This is a continuous improvement journey. You will never stop. All right. So then, always say yes to challenges. As I said before, please make sure to spend some time to reflect. If you don't reflect, you will be the same person every day. What I would suggest is over the weekend, just find 1 hour to understand where do you stand, right? Where do you stand? And understand what else you can develop. How do you understand what you need to develop is not based on your requirement. You can do 1 or 2 based on your requirement also. The most important thing is to understand what market demands from you, right? Now, if you are a good typist, now let's say you can type well. If you are a good typist, will you be able to find a job now? No, times have changed. You can be an exceptional typist, but do we want a typist now? No, we have Word, we have Excel. So make sure that you invest time on the right thing. When I say right things, I'm not talking about today. You're not applying for a job today. You're applying for a job maybe in another 3-4 years. So you see what the trend is. In 3 years, what will have value? So if you learn Power BI, after 3 years, it will be outdated. Not outdated. Everyone in the world would know it. It will be a simple dashboard. So you have to plan to become an expert or a value adder after 3 years' time. So you always see, okay, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are potential threats? What are opportunities we have now? We have the Port City project coming up, which means a lot of multinationals will come and there will be a lot of opportunities for our youngsters to find jobs. So that's an opportunity. But in order to grab that opportunity, you have to have strengths, required competencies. You can't just go there and say, okay, I went to this university, can you give me a job? No one's going to take you. Those are global companies. So plan for that, right? Have a mentor if possible. Okay. So at last, what I want to say is, this is you, this is me, this is every one of us. And this is our comfort zone. We never get out of this. And this is where the magic happens, right? Unless you think beyond this, if you don't go to this level, you are not going to be an exceptional character. You will be just another head. So it's up to you. And I have taken a little more than what's been allocated to me. So thank you very much. I'm up to answer your questions if you have any. Any questions? Go ahead. Do we have any questions?
Hi everyone, so feel free to ask any questions that you have directly from Mr. Bharatha, or else you can drop a message in the chat box as well.
Yeah, you can do that too. Any questions? Shall we take silence as no, or anyone wants to, the biggest fear in life is to be dead, like be killed by someone. That's the biggest fear in life. Second biggest fear in life is public speaking. That's what people say. So you can show that you are not scared of that. Up to you. Any questions you would like to clarify? Okay, maybe it's because of their first day. We are meeting, we are a little reluctant to ask questions and engage. That's fine. But I have to tell you whether you like it or not. When you go for the interview, when you go for an interview in a corporate world, you will be meeting that person for the first time, and he'll be asking you a lot of questions, and you will have to ask you questions from him also. So make sure that you don't have that sort of barrier in you, and have to be confident to ask your questions. All right. Anyone else? Anyone wants to ask a question? Okay, I'll take the silence as no. So thank you very much for spending your time today on a Friday evening for a session like this. And thank you, AIESEC, for having me. I hope I added some sort of value to your program, and looking forward to work with you closely. And all the best for your future endeavors. And be safe. We have a very bad situation in the country at this moment. Take care of yourself, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rathnayake, for that insightful presentation. And I'm sure that everyone was able to get some valuable advice to develop themselves to become one with a growing mindset. And hope you have a nice day. And thank you once again for joining.